Uh, my next topic is there's a section in the Satanic Bible of some evidence of a new satanic age. I'm gonna read a little bit into this and I'll discuss. More just a couple paragraphs here. The seven deadly sins of the Christian church are greed, pride, envy, anger, grudges, lust, and sloth. They is a matter of faith indulging in each of these quote-unquote sins, as they all lead to physical, mental, or emotional gratification. As Satan knows there is nothing wrong with being greedy, as it only means that he wants more than he already has. Envy means to look with favor upon the positions of others, and to be desirous of any similar things for oneself. Envy and greed are the motivating forces of ambition. Without ambition, very little of any importance to be accomplished. Well, truly we live in a satanic world. Have been for thousands of years. I mean, if not for ambition, we wouldn't have television. We wouldn't have electricity. Well, we wouldn't have clothes that we are wearing. That are fashionable. Uh, and so that's where greed and envy come in. Envy is like Levate says, looking up in favor of something else that you would like for yourself. And so I'm gonna read a little bit more. Gluttony is simply eating more than you need to keep yourself alive. When you have overeaten to the point of obesity, another sin, pride, will motivate you to regain an appearance that will renew your self-respect. Well, if you're eating something good, wouldn't you like, and you're still hungry, wouldn't you like to go for seconds? I mean, all you can eat buffets are a fine example of how we live in a satanic world. Jason King is a post-modern Satanist. You can find him on Jason666King on YouTube. And honestly, this is not a hard fact to figure out. Very few, if any, people actually live a true Christian life. So anyway, let me keep reading. Anyone who buys an article of clothing for purposes other than over covering his body and protecting it from elements is guilty of pride. Satanists often encounter scoffers who maintain that labels are not necessary. It must be pointed out to these destroyers of labels that one or many articles they themselves are wearing are not necessary to keep them warm. There is not a person on this earth who is completely devoid of ornamentation. The Satanist points out that any ornamentation of the scoffer's body shows that he too is guilty of pride. Regardless of how verbose the cynic may be in his intellectual description of how free he is still wearing the elements of pride. Being reluctant to get up in the morning is to be guilty of sloth. And if you lie in bed long enough, you may find yourself committing yet another lust. To have the faintest stirring of sexual desire is to be guilty of lust. In order to ensure the propagation of humanity, nature made lust the second most powerful instinct. The first being self-preservation. Realizing this, the Christian church made fornication a, quote, unoriginal sin, unquote. In this way, they made sure no one would escape sin. Your very state of being is as a result of sin, the original sin. The strongest instinct in every living thing is self-preservation, which brings us to the last of the seven deadly sins, anger. Is it not our instinct for self-preservation that is aroused when someone harms us, when we become angry enough to protect ourselves from further attack? Satan practices the motto, if a man smite you thee on one cheek, smash him on the other. Let no wrong go unredressed. Be as a lion in the path, be dangerous even in defeat. So, I mean, that stuff is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I agree with LeVay wholeheartedly on this. You know, uh, yeah, there's really not a whole lot I can add to this, you know, except that, you know, I indulge myself in all the deadly sins, greed, lust, all that. I masturbate, that's lustful. I masturbate on occasion. No shame in that, man. So, uh, I'm a greedy person. I would love to death to be a millionaire, but I'm not. I'm poor as fuck. You know, I'm lucky to get, see, out of all the money that I make, I'm not gonna reveal how much I make. Uh, hang on, let me see where this shit. I don't even know where it's coming from, man. But, anyway, like I said, there's not a whole lot to add. This LeVay had some pretty good points. We live in a satanic world. We have been for thousands of years. The world itself is satanic. So, that's it, man.